If you want more FIFA content from me, I'm now uploading exclusive videos to Patreon. The link for that is down below. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com. And of course, you can use the code TVM at checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to yet another player review. Not going to beat around the bush with this one and try and do a slow reveal or anything. I'm just going to show you who it is straight away. It is the upgraded Leandro Trossard. Now, this guy is free. Now, I use the term free very loosely because a lot of people will value their time, although in this state of isolation, I'm not sure people do value their time anymore, and they just want to get something done. So, something to grind for. If you haven't even started this, then you can enjoy the grind towards him. The 85 rated Trossard is actually quite good, but the 87 just takes it to that whole new level. Now, I'm not making this video just for the sake of it. Just picked a card and gone, right, well, this guy is the focus of today's video. This is a guy that, as you could have seen by the amount of games played, is a player that features in nearly every single squad that I build these days on this particular account because he is that good. Now, I'm here to basically praise him, but there are a few issues and we will get to those. But in terms of the stats, obviously we've got a sniper on him. I've used a whole host of chem styles on this card because I didn't really know his best position. I tried to play him at cam a fair bit. I don't really use wingers, so you know, playing in a 4-3-3 or anything. There was a period actually where, was it last week before, where on PC you couldn't change formation because it would result in the game disconnecting. So there were maybe, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 games at a push where I actually played in a 4-3-3. And I can't say I liked it, but I had my experience with him out on the left. Now, that being said, I've been playing him as a striker. In this instance, he is on full chem. However, the reason he's left forward is because I was actually playing him off chem as a striker on 7 chem. But even then, he's still very capable of playing and performing up to a very high standard. Now, in terms of the stats on paper, if this card came out as an SBC, you'd probably be met with a video from me criticising EA for not releasing a card good enough to be completed. And here I am making a video about how good this card is. It's a weird one, and I am 100% a hypocrite. But until you actually pick up a card and play with it, you don't know how good it is. So, for example, that Ashley Young that I heavily criticised and probably took a bit of flack for as well, if you play with that card, he might not be as bad as I thought he would be, you know? So it's one of those you don't know until you try it, but unfortunately, I'm not going to complete every SBC that EA released just to find out whether I'm right or wrong. I'm going to look at it and judge it by the tin. But with that being said, you've got some really, really good dribbling stats here, with a sniper chem style in particular, 99 for agility, balance, and dribbling, with 95 composure. 81 reactions is good. Then the ball control is good as well. I say the 81 reactions is good. The reason I don't care about reactions for this card is because the agility, the balance, the ball control, and his pace are so high that reactions quite literally don't mean a thing. And I will say that until I'm blue in the face. Whether you agree or disagree, that's completely your opinion, as this is mine. But I've used so many different cards, and if you've got high agility and high dribbling with pace, reactions just don't do anything. They really don't. That's the team I've got him in. Those of you who watched the video on Jesse Lingard and have guessed correctly for Trossard, well done. I did say that that's the team I've got him in. There is another player in this squad that I'm going to review. Who is it? And quite a few of you actually guessed Trossard. It was quite straightforward, really, because I think I've done a video on nearly every other card there apart from Paul Pogba. I might do a video on Paul Pogba, but it would literally just be me saying, yeah, he's not bad, but he can't move. He's like a boat. Trossard is one of those cards that is in the right place at the right time constantly, and he is unbelievably good on the ball. His dribbling, his snappy reactions are just what this game calls for. You know, this look at that for a turn, and that's what I kind of come to with the whole reactions thing. You know, you've got like poor reactions on this card. Really, they're really low. They're in the 70s, and yet we're performing spins. We're doing sort of step overs and drag backs and ball roll flicks and all the rest of it, and he's pulling every single one of them off. He's got the audacity there to beat his man, and I'm going to have strength down as a negative in this one, but sometimes in that instance there, and I would replay the clip, but it would be far too much effort, and I'm sure no one really cares. But in that instance there, he manages to get round the defender, get between the ball and the defender, muscle his way through, and put the ball in the back of the net by audaciously lifting the ball over the top of the goalkeeper. So does strength really play a part in this card? I mean, I'm going to put it down as a negative because he only got 71 strength on the in-game stats anyway, but still, we'll put it down there. So in terms of the strength, we've already been through the mobility of the card, right? The weak foot and the skills are nice. It'd be nice if he had a 5-star something or other, but it's not the end of the world. In terms of the weak foot, though, he scores goals with his left, he scores goals with his right. He is, of course, right-footed. It really doesn't make a blind bit of difference what foot you take a shot with this card, which is just amazing. Now, having a 5-star weak foot would give me that confidence to take shots whichever direction I'm facing and whichever foot we're on. But with that being said, I feel like the 4-star weak foot is good enough. And of course, 4-star skills in this game generally tends to be good enough. He can't really do a lot of the sort of high quality ball roll flicks, which sort of you ball roll it one way, you click the stick in, and it sort of just chips it back the other way, if you will. You have to have a 5-star skill player to do that. So Paul Pogba is quite handy when it comes to doing those. But you can do the dodgy sort of ball roll flick that doesn't quite come off that very often, and it's just not that effective. But even though it's not that effective, this card is more than capable of doing it. Snappy passing as well. Let's talk about the negatives, though, because there are maybe one or two here or there that it's definitely worth noting. So let's talk about that strength, shall we? We mentioned it before. Now and again, you will find that he's capable of holding his own, but more often than not, you're going to either have to use a skill move to get yourself out of danger, or you're going to have to try and worm your way out of it with a left stick dribble. The reactions on paper are definitely a negative, and if you've got that ingrained in your mind that you need that actual reaction stat to be high, then yes, of course, 100% it is going to cause you a problem, because in the back of your mind, whenever Trossard makes a mistake, you are going to blame the reactions. And I get that, because I was like that with chemistry for such a long time. If you play a player on 7 chem or whatever it may be, you sort of, well, I used to blame him every time something went wrong. You know, if I've got a striker on 7 chem and I've conceded a goal, it's the striker's fault because he's on 7 chem. It's not that, obviously, but in my mind. So I more than understand that if you don't like the card and you think he's not, I don't know, if you just don't think he's that responsive, then you're going to blame his reaction stats. But honestly, he is fantastic. Now, let me explain a few things, because that is probably the highest rated I've given a card for value for coins and enjoyment and overall as a combination, and there's a reason for it. A, value for coins has to be up there because it's free. Now, I know a lot of you again will say that time isn't free and I'm spending a lot of time to get this card, yada yada yada, but at the moment where people have nothing but time, I don't really see that being too much of a problem. And if everything was given to us, if every free item was literally just score 10 goals and you've got him, there would be no reason to grind the game, right? So it's a thing to grind for. It's something worth playing for, and it gives you an objective to work towards if you're not the kind of person to go out there and play foot champs, which I am not any longer. So yeah, it's nice to be able to grind towards something, and the fact that you don't have to spend any coins to get him is nice, and that's why his value for coins is up there at 100, even though technically speaking you won't be spending any coins. Enjoyment 99, I mean, I could easily have put it at 100, but for the memes we'll put it at 99 because no one's perfect. And then of course overall rating. Now I've given him a 99, so you might be thinking to yourself, hang on a minute then, so better than Ronaldo, better than Messi? No, not quite, because obviously checking the top right, and I feel like I have to reiterate this every time, I might try and squeeze it into the top left going forward, a little key on what the classes mean. But top right, class 2, so he's not quite up there. I mean, you can compare him, you definitely can compare him to the likes of Messi, Ronaldo and Mbappe. He's not quite far, you know, he's not far off that league of players of the elite, even though the stats on paper don't necessarily suggest that he is. He isn't that far off those type of players. But if I were to review him and sort of compare him to those directly and say, look, this is a class 1, he would be down there in the low 80s, high 70s. You know, so it would be better for me to say, look, class 2, he's the best of the best. You can't get better than this card in this class system. Now, the class system is obviously, class 1 is your Ronaldos, your Mbappes, your Team of the Year cards, etc. Class 2 are those cards that you can use in FUT Champs, and in this instance, I am saying he's worthy of a starting 11 position, but maybe those type of cards that you know, more often than not, they're sort of there for fun. But in this instance, I am saying because he's so at the top end of Class 2, you can use him in FUT Champs. I genuinely really enjoy myself when playing with this card, and I definitely think he's worth it. And if you go through the grind and you pick him up and you just decide, you know what, he's not as good as I thought he would be, or he doesn't fit the way that I personally play, you've got an 87 rated card you can put into an SBC, and you'll have an 85 rated card you can put into an SBC. Or, at the very least, you'll have a card you can use for Premier League objectives. I definitely think he's worth it, though. Out of this world good, considering his stats wouldn't necessarily suggest that he is. Let me know what you think of the card if you've used him in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, hit a like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.